Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our first Ecommerce Espresso of 2021. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the webinar that's shorter than your coffee break. To keep these episodes as quick and insightful as possible, we don't hold a Q&A. However, if you have any questions you'd like to put to LoyaltyLion or today's guests, then please do tweet us at LoyaltyLion HQ using the hashtag Ecommerce Espresso, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So let's get to it. We've got a very special episode today, as this is our first ever double e-commerce espresso. Today, I'm being joined by two guests instead of our regular one. First, we have Dan Sheard, the Managing Director of Shopify Plus agency, Velstar. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. And we also have Ana Sofia Fernandez, the marketing manager at health and wellness brand Santo Remedio. Welcome, Ana.
Thank you, Kasia.
So it would be great to hear a little bit about you both. Ana, would you like to kick us off and tell our audience about yourself and Santo Remedio?
Yes. So my name is Ana Fernandez. I am the marketing manager for Santo Remedio. And before this, my background has always been in digital marketing, a little bit of PR here and there, maybe some graphic design. So I started with Santo in May and have sort of just delved into the whole marketing of a startup, which has been quite the roller coaster ride, but yeah, it's been fun.
No, excellent. And Dan, can we hear a little bit about you and Velstar?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Dan Sheard, and as you mentioned, I'm the Managing Director of Velstar. We're a Shopify Plus partner agency based in the UK, where HQ is in Liverpool. We've been in operation for 5 years now, which is crazy to think about. It's gone very fast. The last year was quite a bit of a blur, but a great year still. And we got a team of 20 plus e-commerce specialists across marketing, development, design, user experience, project management, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's great to be invited onto something like this.
No, yeah, absolutely. Great to have you. So yeah, it's great to have both of you on board. And yeah, let's get stuck in with our first question. I'm actually really excited to hear your thoughts on this one. So could you tell us about some of the reasons why Santo Remedio invested in a loyalty program?
Yeah, sure. So Santo Remedio is a new brand. It was only launched in August last year. But it's a little bit different to a normal brand launching, and that the face of the brand and one of the co-founders, Dr. Juan, is a practicing doctor in Miami. He's got a clinic in Miami, but he's also he's got a regular TV slot on Spanish-speaking TV network called Univision in the US. So because of that, he's got a large social media following already and highly engaged, actually. So straight away from the off, we wanted to capitalize on that audience and reward their loyalty that they've shown to Juan over the years. And as a LoyaltyLion partner, we've implemented LoyaltyLion on several brands, and we've seen the brilliant results it can deliver. So we thought it'd be the ideal platform to launch a loyalty program to help retain customers for Santo Remedio. And also it ties directly into the other software that we use for the brand. So things like Klaviyo and Gorgeous and that sort of stuff.
No, absolutely. Ana, do you want to add?
Yes. So I think as a startup company, you are always sort of playing catch up. And for us, it was even more so. And we definitely wanted to reward our customers, but we also wanted to do it with an established sort of application and make the execution more seamless, because we sort of had to do it really, really quickly. But yeah, I think it's really important to give back.
No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this. It's really interesting to hear why Santo Remedio was a good fit for the loyalty program, and especially the fact that Dr. Juan is so well known and has a huge social media following. Like you said, it's key here. So we know that community feeling is very big driver of loyalty. So customers like to be a part of a group that has similar values and interests to them. And social media presence can have a big influence on creating this community feeling. And yeah, as Anna, you mentioned, rewarding your loyal customers and giving back to this community will create stronger relationship with them, and will drive more of your customers to become loyal, and the brand can grow the top 20% of their customer base. Yeah, so the next question I have for you, Santo Remedio is a health and wellness brand. Do you have any advice for similar e-commerce brands who want to focus on customer retention in 2021?
Yeah, so I think last year and with the pandemic and everything that went on in the world, a lot of people's attitudes towards health changed. I think it was more at the forefront of people's minds. So this meant that the health and wellness brands across the board actually saw a significant increase in sales. All the health and wellness brands we work with, for example, had a great year in general. And I think, in my opinion, 2021 is going to be no different. So, and particularly during the first quarter of 2021, where everyone has got their New Year's resolutions, and health and fitness is a really big part of that. Everyone's sets the goals for the year and wants to get healthy and that sort of thing. So there's a massive opportunity for growth, but I think it also means that it's going to be even more competitive. So brands need to get strategic, and I think customer retention is key to that. So there's a number of ways that a merchant can boost customer retention. And firstly, and the reason we're here today, I guess, and to talk about is loyalty programs and offering regular incentives for customers to return to your store. So with the loyalty program, from our experience, we found that keeping it simple is the most effective way to get engagement with the loyalty program, because I think we're all in the digital industry, and we need to remember that everyone's not quite as digitally savvy as we are. So if you keep it straightforward to use and very clear about how they can use it, I think that always helps. Also, there's no getting away from the psychological impact of the pandemic. I think everyone's sort of seen less of their friends and family and being isolated more than they'd usually be, I guess. So people tend to seem to be craving a connection with others, and I think this means that consumers are looking to the brands that they buy from for a sense of community. And I think what that can mean for health and wellness brands is to ensure they align themselves with the values of the consumers and position themselves as honest, authentic brands and businesses. I think one way to do this is to communicate with customers on the channels that they use the most, create conversations, and potentially even get customers talking to each other. I think not only will that humanize the brand, but will also strengthen customer relationships and keep them coming back to the store. And then another big thing is, say traditional, it's traditional in the digital world, is more traditional ways of communicating with the brand through email marketing. But again, I think the key here is to be as personal as possible. So at the core of a health and wellness brand, in my opinion, is personalization. Customers are more often than not buying products for themselves, for their own personal use. So they expect recommendations that are going to suit their individual needs. Loyalty programs can really help with this too, and make the customers feel valued. So, for example, with Santo Remedio, we support with the email marketing for the brand, and We include loyalty program information such as points updates and personal offers as part of the emails, and that leads to increased open rates and more interaction with the brand. And then and finally, a big one for especially for a product that you're going to use regularly and run out of essentially is subscriptions. So if rolling out a subscription model for these type of products is ideal, and Shopify and the platforms out there can really help with that. And I think it just makes life easier for the customers and helps them stay committed to their health goals, but also your brand.
And yeah, I mean, that's great. You covered a lot there. And yeah, I agree on all these points. So to quickly recap, rewarding loyalty, community and communication, personalization, and subscription models are your top tips for retention this year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I have to say, I'm a big fan of health and wellness and subscription models. It's such a great idea because it reduces the customer admin. So it's a win-win situation. I mean, I'm a customer myself, and I can say from the experience for the health and wellness products I'm not subscribed to, I'm just looking for other brands because I'm not being reminded and not having this automated experience. So combining it with a loyalty program in a form of subscriber tier, so customers who subscribe have better rewards and extra perks comparing to those who don't. It just creates this extra incentive to subscribe.
Absolutely. It takes a little bit of admin away as well. So if it just happens for them on a monthly basis, then they have less to do. They don't have to go searching for the product. They know it's going to be there on time and ready to go.
And they don't forget, like some of us.
Yeah.
So the next question, what, probably for you, Ana, what were the biggest challenges around launching Santo Remedio's loyalty program?
So I think the first challenge we faced was really trying to find a way in which we could translate the loyalty that exists for Dr. Juan already into an e-commerce brand, right? Something that works for Santo Remedio on its own. So of course we did the point system and we did discounts, and that's sort of like the typical baseline. I mean, the standard is already so high in e-commerce when you really think about it. So we definitely wanted to give people something a little bit more. So something that we're going to do is give our members an opportunity to be part of a webinar where they can listen to not only Dr. Juan, but maybe some of his colleagues as well, just speak about health and wellness. I think it's important to add that value, especially nowadays, into the loyalty program. So not just, it's important from a sales perspective, but it's also important just from a human to human perspective, give people access to that kind of information. The other thing that I think was a big challenge for us was, so Dr. Juan's audience, he has the TV audience, but he also has the social media audience, and those two are very different when it comes down to their behavior on the website. We also have a call center as well, so it was important for us to be able to feed into those different groups and make them aware of the program in any which way we could. So we do have email, but we also have to extend into SMS for maybe the older demographic that isn't quite used to email and just wants that quick phone update, which you would think is sort of counterintuitive and maybe for the younger audience, but it works for the older audience as well. So it's just maintaining the communication and also just being dynamic with how you do it, I think is something that I didn't initially think we would have to be thorough with.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's some really great insights there. And yeah, every brand is different and has its own requirements and challenges. So I think it's really important for any brand looking to work with a technology partner to exactly know their needs and what works for them. And it's because it's important to remain on brand, and of course customization is a big factor. I really love that you mentioned that you wanted to explore outside of typical discounts for Santo Remedio's loyalty program. It's something I always talk about to our partners and customers. It is a growing trend sometime now, and offering more experiential perks and rewards in programs. So things like access to early access to sales, early access to specific collection, beauty and styling tutorials. It's really becoming trendy. And they see a great engagement with those as well. And yeah, I saw on your program that customers in your top tier get this virtual interaction with Dr. Juan, and I think it's brilliant. So yeah, well done on that.
Thank you.
And that brings me to my last question. What does a successful loyalty program look like to you?
Cool. So, yeah, in my opinion, the things we've discussed so far as well tie directly into this. So, a successful loyalty program to me keeps customers engaged, but with a high level of personalization as well, and reminds them what they could earn by spending more with the brand. Successful program looks to incentivize customer behavior as well through the strategically structured reward tiers that we've just mentioned there. So again, yeah, it's great that people can interact with Dr. Juan if they, become the most loyal of customers on the highest tier. I think also rewarding customers that help develop brand awareness through things like social shares, image shares, and hashtag promotions and that sort of thing. So not only using the program for their own personal needs and things, but sharing it with friends, family, and whatnot on social media. I think this means that merchants need to get to know their customers at a deeper level. They need to really find out what makes them tick, and find out why their customers would sign up for a loyalty program in the first place, really. And then finally, obviously one of the most important elements is you need to know the metrics that matter to a loyalty program. Things like customer retention rate, average order value, repeat purchase rate, customer lifetime value, and participation rate. Because you can have the best program in the world, but if the stats aren't being checked and make sure that it is driving those things, then you need to just keep an eye on those things and tweak it as you go, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think nowadays there's just a lot going on the internet, and having a loyalty program that's easy to understand, doesn't require too much effort on the user's part, is also very key. And when you supplement that with a path that allows us as the company to provide the valuable, unique experiences, then that's sort of when you get a really good combination. And then just going to where people are, if they are on social, reward them for being there and being engaged elsewhere. I think it's important to sort of cross-reference all of that. And then from our side, it's just making sure that we follow through thoroughly with the communication in a way that's not too invasive. So you kind of have to tread carefully there.
No, yeah, I think you both absolutely nailed everything there. Dan, you're so right about looking at data. So many times we see cases of trying to use the guesswork, but LoyaltyLion knows how important it is to look at data and take out the guessing. And that's why so much of our platform is data-led, like our customer value snapshot, where you can compare the value of loyalty program members versus non-members. And then diving even deeper, redeeming members versus non-redeeming members. And you also mentioned testing. I would suggest the same. Test is the best way to find out what actually works for your brand. And if you try different tactics and report on whether they were successful or not and why, then you will learn where to go from there to optimize and land on something really fantastic. And Ana, your point about providing valuable experiences and creating connections with customers, that's what's it all about. And that's exactly what we set to achieve. E-commerce can sometimes seem quite impersonal compared to the physical shopping experience. So rewarding loyalty and creating these memorable and enjoyable experiences is how brands can bridge the gap between physical and online.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So thanks, Dan and Ana. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So that brings us to the end of our double e-commerce espresso. I hope you all found it valuable and have left with some great insights and ideas. And as always, we will be sharing the on-demand recording. So don't worry if you feel you may have missed something. And one last big thank you to Dan and Ana for being today's guest speakers. And remember, if you have any questions for either Velstar, Santo Remedio, or LoyaltyLion, just tweet using the hashtag Ecommerce Espresso. Hope to see you online again soon. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ecommerce Espresso. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more of these short but insightful webinars, you can catch all of our previous episodes over on our YouTube channel. Just search for LoyaltyLion. Before you go, why not see if you can identify the gaps in your loyalty strategy that are costing you the most with our retention score sheet. You can see how your approach matches up with our downloadable tool over on LoyaltyLion.com/retention score sheet. That's LoyaltyLion.com/retention score sheet with no spaces. We'll see you soon for our next e-commerce espresso.